Baby, you are gonna go broke showing turkeys like these.
Now we're talking turkey.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
It's turkey time. Gobble, gobble.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Let's Talk Turkeys. I'm your host, Movie Miss, and we are jumping right back in. This is part 2 of our coverage on The Golden Child.
Eddie Murphy is back, but this time, he's looking for a missing child, a golden child.
This child is special, Mr. Giraud. His destiny is to save the world.
And it's your destiny to seek some serious psychiatric help. Came to ask you boys a couple of questions.
By the time he finds you, it will be too late.
Hey. In my pocket, it's a whole thing of Tic Tacs. Take as many as you like, please.
I could destroy you, just like that.
Just like that. Mwah, you're wonderful. Nobody be alarmed. I'm Lamb Chandler, Gerald, American Stolen Artifacts Founders of America.
He is irresponsible.
A bed? Is that a bed?
He is a careless, thoughtless, undisciplined fool.
I should be punished. I should be purged. I should be flogged.
You are the chosen one. You will find the child.
Well, I do my best. I'm so afraid of the dark, too.
I really don't like your attitude.
You know, this is a nice jacket. It's a Morris Day feel, and it looks good on you. And the boots, smoking.
He's got a firm grip on reality. Where he's going, he'll need it.
How'd you do that? What was that with the flip?
You must carry this glass of water without spilling a drop.
Who are you, Monty Hall now? This is a piece of cake!
Eddie Murphy is the chosen one.
Well, how many people have survived this test?
None.
None!
The golden child.
None!
When we were last here, we were in the middle of Gerald's or Jarl's, depending on how you want to say it, dream that they were having with Sardo Numspa to discuss an offer that he was maybe making, unclear until the end there. So let's jump right back on into the action. Here we go.
So next, Mr. Jarl fucks with the henchman. He gets the studio audience to laugh. Then he goes into the next room and finds the woman dressed very vixen-ish.
Tied up in toilet paper. Hot!
Tied
in
to a
toilet
wall.
paper.
Yeah. He calls her by her name, Key. I was like, oh, we have a name, finally. And he unties her from the toilet paper, and there's an old guy playing an accordion who's watching them. It's so weird. And he says they should find the kid and spend some time together. The henchmen come in, they and Noomspa all tussle, and then Jarrell wakes up.
All right, so if they won the fight in the dream, would they have knocked him out in real life?
Oh, that would have been cool, like a Freddy Krueger situation.
Yeah, I mean, why else would they be attacking him in the dream? It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Well, yeah, he's able to cut Jarrell, so he wakes up with a wound on his arm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'd think he'd wake up with bruises from getting his ass kicked.
I don't know why they sent him into the dream. Dave, you got any ideas, buddy?
I do not know. I'm assuming that the dream was just a way to, like, kind of an astral projecting type thing to make the offer and then to show him that, look, I have power in the dream. I think his first offer, he was kind of getting around to the fact that I can give you things in real life if you just join our side. But he never really made an offer, like you said.
Join the dark side. We have cookies. So Gerald goes back with Key to see Kala and Dr. Hong. And
Kala is the snake lady, if anyone has forgotten. Yes. Or the mysterious shadow lady.
The dragon lady or whatever she is.
Raped by
her ancestors
raped by a dragon. Yes.
So she tells him the dagger of Ajanti was brought there and used to kill the second golden child previously. So this is only the third golden child, really?
I guess.
Okay. So Gerald looks back at Key, she looks down, and he tells them it's Sardo Numspa that's there. Kala says, get the knife, trick Numspa into freeing the child, but don't let him get the knife. Hong tells Gerald he needs to go to Tibet with Key to get the dagger from a very difficult man who does not want to give it up. So Gerald resists. He says he doesn't want to go to Tibet. Bro, I'm with you. I don't want to go either.
I want to go.
He's like, I'm not the chosen one. This is all nonsense. Thank you very much. Key and Gerald leave. She tells him Numspa is a real person, and the part with her was a dream. So she drives him home, and as he's getting out, she says, hey, don't you want to invite me up?
Because she just is going to use her body to get him to do what she wants.
Exactly.
And for some reason, Eddie Murphy had a line earlier where he said, hey, look, there ain't nothing wrong with my yang.
Yeah, that was that he was up and he was smelling something in the shop, and the guy says, it's yak loin. It's good to keep the yang up. And he goes, ain't nothing wrong with my yang.
That's right. It looked like beef jerky. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing he was offering, right? Not the yang.
the not his yang. The yak loin.
Yak loin.
Well, that's right. That's a similar joke. Okay, the Glimmer Man, I stand corrected now. It lifted it from this because deer penis and yak loin, very similar.
I think Movie Mist really likes the Glimmer Man.
Shame on Glimmer Man. I did like it, even though it's bad, but I'm changing my view now. Okay.
That's okay.
Right?
Like what you like.
Yeah.
Like what you like. I like this movie. You guys don't.
It's all good. So she drives him. Sorry. They're home, and so she wants to come up, and we cut to the next morning where she's dressed and ready to leave, and he's bringing her coffee, and you're like, what? What is this movie rated? Oh, PG-13. So we get no steamy sex scene here.
Well, we got the wet boobies earlier, so I mean that's what we're gonna have to deal with.
You couldn't see very well through the wet shirt, though.
It was enough, David.
Well, I'm just. No, it was not.
She asks him at this point, please come to Tibet. He complains it's too cold, but he agrees to go. So we cut to a plane ride. I, again, died a little on the inside. These people are packed in like sardines. That's smoky and dirty looking. People are coughing. The air is so thick you could cut it. It just looked foul and horrible. And what a long ass flight that had to be.
And there's a woman with like fucking half cooked meat wrapped in newspaper trying to offer it up to Eddie's character. There's a stewardess or something walking around with
and
it gives
out of her mouth.
and it gives me the opportunity to say dirty pillows because the pillows they offer are dirty, and dirty pillows is a Stephen King thing.
Yes, very much.
So I got to type that out. And is the bird in the plane, or is it waiting for them in fucking Nepal or?
It's waiting when they get.
It's
there.
a magical bird that can fly faster across the ocean than the jet plane.
Okay,
of course it is.
Great.
Because it was blessed by the golden child. Enough said. Move along.
So the golden child now gets loaded into an unmarked truck and driven off as he eats the second to last leaf out of that little pocket plant he has.
Oh, his nourishment.
Yep, second to last leaf. And I thought, we're getting down to the wire here. So meanwhile, Gerald and Key are walking through downtown Kathmandu, a hotbed of activity on the.
All right, do we want to take a moment to have a little musical break?
No.
But I think I'm gonna go to Kathmandu.
I know what you were gonna do.
No, let's go.
So Key tells Gerald she's arranged a 2-day trek for them into the mountains to get the dagger. She runs off, leaving him to amuse himself for an hour or so. The colorful bird follows him and he wanders around. He spots the bird and follows it into a back alley where he sees an old beggar man, and he's got necklaces and things laid out like he's selling them. And Gerald puts a coin in the bowl because he wants to buy a necklace. But the man is like saying, I think he says that it costs more than that or something. So he pulls a roll of bills out of his jacket and he grabs like $100 bill off of him and doesn't even give him the necklace he wants. He gives him a different one.
Right.
Far less ornate than the cool looking one that he wanted. It's like a big round disc. And it's like, really? That's okay.
And but he's very angry about it.
Very, very. But he keeps it on. He keeps the necklace on like this whole time after this.
Yeah.
Do we want to say who the actor is?
Go for it.
I don't know. He's the guy from Big Trouble in Little China.
He's Victor Wong.
There we go. All
His
right.
character in this is Old Goopa.
He was
I
the
love it.
He was the wizard guy, wasn't he, in Big Trouble? The good guy wizard.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
also in John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. He's the professor
yeah.
at the university.
Oh.
God, I love that movie.
So after this trickery, they have a verbal exchange, and the beggar is acting like he doesn't speak English, and then he does, and then he magically vanishes.
Ah, yes, and he starts screaming something about how naked he is, and
You seen a little naked man running around with a $100 bill? I'm sorry, it's funny.
You don't have to apologize for what you find funny. You're allowed. So Gerald meets up with Key, and they head off by boat. Gerald is still ranting about the beggar guy that stole his money.
Mhm.
We cut to a few people trekking through the snow on yaks, along with Key and Gerald. Then we cut back to someone somewhere in LA, the golden child still being held in this giant claw thing. And then we see him eat a very large leaf, and there's still a couple of other leaves on this little plant. And I thought, oh, continuity guy, you had one fucking job.
Maybe he had another stem of them.
Oh, maybe. All right.
Maybe it was in his other pocket.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
it's a big robe. Maybe he's got like a robe of 1,000 pockets on. That's an old D&D thing.
Okay, it's possible. He is magic. So back in the snowy wonderland, Gerald and Key enter a temple on a hill with monks in it, and wouldn't you know it, head of the table is the beggar man, the old Goopa. And Key spins a movable piece on this pillar that they're standing by, moves it around, and asks in a very musical chant for the dagger of Ajante. So the old man says, why do you want it? Key says, for the golden child. The old man says, he doesn't need it. And Key says, well, we need it to save his life. So then the old man says, Gerald needs to ask for it. So this is where we get, and I'll insert a clip of it for the listeners. This is the part that I remember from childhood, because I hadn't seen this movie in decades.
Me
that I
too.
remember, thinking it was so funny. And I don't know what that thing is called, where you remember something differently than it actually happened. There's like a term for it. But in my mind, I remembered it playing differently and being really funny. And this whole big scratching, I want, this whole big thing. And that's not how it actually happens in the movie. I was shocked that I remembered it so wrong.
Let him ask it.
I said, I want the knife.
Let him ask again.
I want the knife, please.
Yeah, there is an effect that we recently went through this with like the Berenstain Bears, like people misremembering that. I can't remember what that is called, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's that's the only thing I remember, but I don't remember thinking it was funny.
Okay,
I was just, but yeah, he treats it like he's scratching a record, like as a DJ. I want the knife.
I still think it's humorous.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's fine. So that happens. And then the old man and Key lead Gerald down the small door, and the man hands him a glass of water and says, a man who is pure of heart can wield the dagger. And he sends Gerald down this little corridor, tells him, you can't spill any of the water from this glass.
Oh, yeah.
T-Bob yelled about this the whole time.
By the way, really nice set when he comes down the stairs.
Yes.
It's a gorgeous, beautiful set with the lighting and the door. Man, that looked great.
Agreed. And so then he goes in, he's snarkily like, oh, this will be easy. He goes down the steps into a dark room lit with candles. And all I could think to myself is, I wonder what the candle budget on this movie was. Because there's candles everywhere they can possibly put them.
Whose job is it to light them all and replace them all?
Right? I had that same question on my Mortal Kombat episode. They had one guy and that was his only job. So Gerald goes down the steps into the room. He's joking the entire time about how dark and dirty this is. This will be so easy. He starts walking across these raised like pillar stepping stones. And then he realizes in a minute here that there's no ground
Yeah.
underneath. And he
He's
gets
like,
real
thinks
nervous.
there's ground, and then he
Yeah.
throws a coin off, and he's like, "There's no ground."
So then he has to cross this shaky rope and plank bridge with very wobbly steps. He slips and most definitely loses some of the water.
Yes.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
though he tries to put
Yes.
his hand on it to visually, so we think he didn't, but he clearly does.
Oh yeah. No fucking way, dude.
Yeah. Do you at
No
least
fu-
agree with that, Dave? Because you had to have seen that.
Yes, yes. I even said it. That whenever he falls, I'm like, "There's no way
Yeah.
that he didn't spill any."
So the rope bridge behind him bursts into flames, and Gerald gets across some more stepping stones. One dips down. He has to set the water down and pull himself back up. He gets to the dagger, suspended by fishing line in a fire.
Question, though.
when he pulls himself up, he almost drinks the water, but stops himself because he thinks that would be considered, spilling the water. Okay, Dave, yeah.
Now he did do the fall and catch where it looked like he did lose some water, and then the bridge did catch on fire and explode. Maybe the path explodes if he spills any of the water.
Oh.
But that's just a guess. I mean, that's not.
Honestly, your guess is as good as ours at this point.
Yeah, because he definitely spilled. I think you can even see that some of the water spilled when he fell.
But wasn't he stepping off the bridge anyway?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Okay, but here's the thing. The whole you can't drink the water changes here because he decides I thought he was thinking maybe I should throw the water onto these flames.
Yeah.
To squash the flames so I can grab the dagger. But no, he decides he should drink it. The flames disappear. Yeah.
That's what I don't understand it either, because I would have to say that, like I told Nix, was like, we're looking at the fire. There's a big fire. I don't think that little bit of water would have even done anything to that fire if you threw it on the fire. But
how do you get from A to B to drink the water?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
What about this? Guys, here's an easy fix to not have to worry about balancing that cup of water. Drink it and then cross, and you'll never spill it.
Interesting. He hadn't figured that out yet.
Hollywood needs to hire you to rewrite this movie because that's better.
Gosh.
So he grabs the knife, no problem, because after he drinks the water, the fire goes out. And then later, Gerald asks the old man outside for some advice on how to tell Key.
Oh my.
How do I tell Key I love her and want to marry her? Probably just tell her what you just said. just say that. How about that?
Yeah, I'm like, why? Come on, dude. Why would you want to be marrying this woman you just met?
So apparently some really heart-to-heart scenes got cut out of this where they bonded, I guess.
No, they had sex.
They had sex, and she can protect him in a bar fight. So there you go. What more do you need? It basically is all so the old guy can just say to Gerald, he must stay pure. He can take the short path to enlightenment by doing a few simple things. These are the things you need to do. Number 1, he must trust someone he has no reason to trust. Number 2, he must make a promise to someone he has just met. And number 3, he must love someone who loves him.
Right.
That doesn't seem hard. That third one.
Yeah, well, I think the stay pure thing was supposed to be part of it too. And remember, by the way, Eddie Murphy throws in a little improv here where he goes, "Oh, should be no," and he does a little humping motion.
It's terrible.
Oh God. But yeah, I mean, this is the short route. The long road is like what do you say, 1,000 years or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, something stupid like that. And that's why he goes, well, give me the short route.
Yeah.
And then he adds that Jarrell must tell no one about the path he is on. So I thought to myself, I'm going to write these down because A, I need them for the show, but B, because they must come back later, right? We'll be able to tick them off the list as he does these things, right? Because why else would they tell us?
Yeah, I'm sure it's very important.
Yeah. So the old man now sits outside with Key as Jarrell goes in. Key talks about how selfish and irresponsible Jarrell is, but they also talk about his bravery and his devotion to her and how he's misguided, but has a good heart deep down.
And he's generous.
They have to give us all this exposition because the movie has not shown us any of this.
No, really, everybody, he's a good guy. We swear.
Yeah, he's not a piece of shit that shames people on the street for liking porn.
And only did this because he got laid.
We also learn the old man is Key's father.
Yes.
And he gives her his blessing for the marriage.
What is wrong with everyone?
They all took crazy pills.
I know who did.
So the old man also adds that Key needs to she needs to help Jarrell save the golden child. You got to help him. So Jarrell and Key are boarding the plane in Kathmandu, and Jarrell is nervous about having the knife. He's worried, how am I going to navigate carrying this knife? They get to security. Key tells Jarrell, just relax and trust your destiny. What? I wish that worked when I got to TSA.
Yeah.
So he slips the dagger into the coat pocket of an unsuspecting American man next to him.
A very rude man.
Yes. And it sets off the alarm, the metal detector. Jarrell makes a big show of acting like he just captured this guy. Thank you for saving the stolen artifact. This man stole it. And it's this whole big production, none of which I found funny or amusing, sadly. I wanted to
I like the last guy. He's all like telling him how great he is and everything. And he's just standing there grinning from ear to ear.
Well,
right, because you know he doesn't speak English.
But guys, let's be honest. He also makes some sort of quip about how he's not very mentally competent at the very end of that rant.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's the 80s again. Yeah, but I mean, it just seems a little raw now.
So they get on this gross plane again. He puts in filthy looking headphones. I died some more on the end. This movie killed me, I think, by the end. I was fully dead.
Yeah, the plane trips were both very gross.
Yeah.
Oh, and we get some more other like insensitive shit. Like he puts on the earphones and he's listening to, the music that's native to this country.
Mm-hmm.
And he just starts making up gibberish fucking whatever to sing along with. And it's like, come on, dude, why? Anyway, maybe I'm too sensitive. I'm a little slow.
No, what's her name? Charlotte Lewis, the actress. She seems genuinely amused by him and is smirking and smiling.
Yeah. She's like, oh, haha, how cute.
Yeah, exactly. So next at the U.S. airport where they land, Jarrell hands the case with the knife to Dr. Hong. We see... I wrote numbskull in my notes, but it's numbspa. He's there with the popo. Jarrell makes a big scene, and he's very good at this. This is the Eddie Murphy. This is what I want in my Eddie Murphy comedy, right?
Yeah,
yes.
This
is the scene that had me rolling. So he makes a big scene and calls Sardo Numspa a brother Noomsy. This is my brother Noomsy.
I've stolen from my brother. I should be purged. I should be whipped. It's
this whole big scene. It's so great. But then he pulls Numbskull aside and says, hey, you don't want me arrested because if I get arrested, the knife goes into evidence and you will not get your hands on it, bro.
Which was really good storytelling. I mean, I really liked that little piece of information that he threw in there. And it shows us that, hey, our lead character is actually pretty intelligent.
Hell yeah. I was very proud of the story for doing that. I was like, oh, duh, that's smart. So Noomspa says, well, I want the knife, so I will bring the golden child and you bring the knife and we'll be good to go. So Jarrell and Key get taken to this really nice house out in I don't know where, the valley probably. And they appear to be just only a couple of guards at first, like 2 guards outside the front door, but then I guess there turns out to be a few more later. So they're being well protected. Key asks Jarrell to join her in bed. And he has handcuffed himself to the case with the dagger. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to sleep on the couch. I'm good. She goes to bed sad and is even crying.
Like, there it is.
What?
She is in tears because she cannot get that D.
Relatable. No, but seriously, I was like, really? What is this supposed to tell us? That she is just madly in love with him, I guess?
Yeah. I don't know. It's so bizarre.
That's the word.
Well, maybe she doesn't realize what her father told him and thinks that
Well, yeah.
he got what he wanted and now he's just written her off.
Well, I mean, they are in
Oh.
the middle of a very big battle for the
Soul of the golden child.
and the world, we
Yeah.
don't want hell on earth. So maybe he's just, she could think, okay, well, he's just really focused on, keeping us safe. And he's attached to were they gonna fuck with the briefcase attached to his hand?
No offense, but I would have.
I would have taken the handcuff off of the briefcase.
No, because you got to be with that briefcase at all times. So you got to make sure.
I would have used the
Put it off to
handcuff
the side.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Put it off to the side. It's doable.
Yeah. I'm
Not that I
sorry,
know,
but
but-
yes, I would have. But he's trying to keep to the rules that her father gave him.
Yeah, but he's already
doesn't-
fucked her. So how is he supposed to be pure if they've already done it and
It's
had
going
sex?
forward.
Maybe it's going forward.
Starting now.
Exactly. Reset button, right? Regrow the cherry.
Most religions have a reset button.
Oh, just
From
ask
here-
for forgiveness.
From here on out.
I swear I'll be good from here on out. I promise.
Yeah.
Okay. We good? We good? Rants over?
Yeah.
You knew what you were getting into.
I know. That's why you're here. So the guards start to get picked off. And so Gerald and Key climb down from the second story and she just jumps.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
yeah.
does.
She Jackie Chan's it.
Impressive. They start
Did
to
it make the
cross-
whoosh sound too? I think it did.
It probably did. So I feel like I need the Super Mario sounds when I jump. That would be better.
It might help me jump more than a half an inch.
So they get attacked by Numbskull's henchmen, and Key is in a shirt that barely covers her ass and some underwear.
Hooray!
She's leaping around up into trees, ninja kicking henchmen.
Magic. She does a magic leap up into the tree. It's like was that floating dragon, mighty tiger? I can't remember the name.
Crouching
of the
Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like doing that kind of shit. So like she has magic powers, guys.
And boy, she can do cartwheels and stuff, man. She is a flipping crazy flipper.
Oh,
So
she loves doing that.
Gerald runs off,
I
fights
love
a
when she
henchman.
does that.
Noomspa grabs a crossbow and is going to shoot Gerald, but Key backflips herself right in front of it.
Oh yeah, see?
Yep, gets an arrow in the back.
So I had a Meridian flashback at that point because crossbow.
Yes.
But also, what was her plan? Was she gonna backflip all the way into Eddie Murphy and knock him out of the way? I mean,
She fell short if that was the case.
She could have backflipped into Charles Dance and knocked his aim off. I don't understand.
I agree completely with you there, Debo. I think that she had made the stupidest choice. Whenever she saw him aiming, she could have done whatever her flippity flopping help could have done.
He was a lot closer to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went past him.
So Noomspa leaves. Key tells Gerald she loves him and then dies. Wah wah.
Oh,
Were you sad the first time you saw this?
not me.
I don't know. I don't remember if I was sad, but I mean, I was like, oh no. I'm sure I was somewhat sad because I know I was into this movie when I went to see it the very first time. So I was just like, oh.
So back at Dr. Hong's basement, they're standing over Key's body. And this is where Kala starts speaking. And we see a shot of Key laying there with this like cloth over her or something, or maybe not the cloth yet. But Jarrell and Hong are at a different angle. The camera shoots him from a different angle. And if you look closely, it's 1 hour, 18 minute, 10-second mark. I wrote it down. Her mouth moves. She moves her mouth and swallows, and her throat moves. I was like, I always look for that in movies.
Me too.
I didn't even notice.
Well, and then later when she does have the cloth over her, you can see her breath move the cloth over her mouth.
Oh, we'll get there. Yes, I wrote that down too. Because again, I'm that weirdo that watches like, Law and Order and Criminal Minds and shit. I'm always looking for the dead body to move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so an hour 18 and 10, look it up. So Kala says the golden child can bring her back, but as long as they do it before the sun sets on that day, 24 hours or whatever it is. So Jarrell storms over. He's pissed off that she's died. He grabs that screen and throws it aside, and we get to see Kala with her crazy snake-like tongue. It's only for like 3 seconds, guys.
Okay, now I put a pin in this before.
Yeah.
So he tells her that she's got a kick-in silhouette.
Right.
And whenever the thing has moved, that snake body goes all the way up to past her breasts. And there is no female form there whatsoever. It's a straight line up to some shoulders and a head. That is not a kicking silhouette. I want my money back.
Me too. And it looked awful. It looked awful. Ugh.
That's not even the word. It's worse than awful.
Yeah, it didn't move right. It didn't look right. And yeah, they kept it really quick because they knew it too.
It's god awful. So Dr. Hong tells Gerald he's the chosen one. You must find the child by nightfall. And if you do that, then because you need to do that because Numbskull can't kill the golden child until dark, till the sun sets.
No. I don't know if the golden child. The thing is he had to get the golden child back to her because until the last ray of the sun is on her, she can be brought back to life by the golden child.
Ah, okay. So we've got the deadline though of nightfall.
Right, but Charles Dance can kill the golden child at any time as long as he has the dagger.
Okay. So a henchman is now tossing dead butterflies at the golden child so that he can touch them and bring them back to life. What a weird game these henchmen are playing with the child.
Yeah.
Flinging rocks at him and throwing butterflies at him.
So this is Doofus henchman again. Can't remember his name.
Randall Tex Cobb.
That's Tex Cobb. That's right. Okay.
So he gets close to the golden child and he touches him, and then he goes over and kicks the bowl of oatmeal away. Why not have him let you out of your claw cage instead? I didn't understand that.
I think it takes 2 people because it takes him and Eddie both to open it later on.
Oh, okay. So Gerald's out driving. He sees the colorful bird, follows it all the way to Numbskull's hideaway.
Narc bird.
He scales a wall, lurks around, and goes in to find the dagger. I didn't understand where he lost the dagger. When did we see him lose the dagger?
When they're in the sewer fighting the demon?
No. It was when she was jumping up in trees and shit, and she got killed. That's when they got it.
Okay. I'm at the wrong point here. I was just I was like, did we just jump way forward?
So when they were in the trees,
we skipped mentioning that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't see them take it. I guess we just assumed that that's when they took it, when she dies.
Well, the editing is sometimes very choppy, but that's what happened.
So we get the henchman, monkey face looking guy, tossing a chain around down at Gerald, and he manages to throw it around, toss it back up, and it hooks around a pillar, and the henchman sort of gets hanged. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It is. It's so bizarre. It's like a PG-13 death. Like, we can't be too graphic.
Yeah, it was definitely I even like the fact that like he hangs off the thing, but the chain is going around underneath his arm too. I don't think that would have killed him.
No. So then Gerald keeps going through the house. The henchman, the golden child touched, kills another henchman, and then he leads Gerald to the golden child. They free him. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it took 2 of them to free him from the giant claw. Gerald says, I'll be right back. And he goes into the room next door to confront Brother Numsi, who sheds his human skin to become a demon. It's a very quick shot. Gerald decides, nope.
Yeah, I see you're kind of busy, so I'm going to take off.
Yep. Peace out. And then he grabs the golden child. They run to his car. The golden child touches his hand, and the car starts. I guess because there are no keys, so the golden child can do that in a pinch.
Yes. Yeah,
he's better than AAA.
Anything the script requires is apparently something he can do.
Yes, he's better. You need him because he's better than AAA. So Gerald looks down and says, Everything's going to be okay. And the golden child says, I know. And they take off. It was very cool that they put that in, but I wanted more from that scene. Like the enlightening, I touched you, and therefore you understand everything's going to be fine. Like that would have been cool to just expand on that a little.
Yeah, but I think that was the promise he's supposed to make.
That's what I was going to ask you. We've got, you must trust someone that you have no reason to trust.
That would be the guy that had the kid touched his hand, the bad guy.
The henchman. Okay. And then make a promise to someone that you just met. He didn't just meet the golden child. So that's not that one.
He did just meet the golden child.
Yeah, that's the first. Isn't that the first
time he's ever met the kid?
Oh, the entire incident. Because I'm like, when they get in the car, he's known him for a good 15 minutes.
yeah. But I mean, and then he makes the promise of everything's going to be okay.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking at my notes going, now, where did these things fucking happen? Okay.
I've been thinking about it the whole time you said that because I never really thought about it.
You're welcome yet again.
Looking for clues.
That's right.
Dum, dum, dum.
Sometimes I'm Sherlock Holmes. So the winged demon, Noomsy, is now after them. And Gerald jokes that he's going to shit himself. And I thought, well, that's not appropriate to say to a small child.
Oh, if I was being stalked by a flying demon, I'd probably blurt that out. Well, I'm Nyx. I would just blurt it out no matter where I was.
So the demon attacks the car. The golden child and Gerald go down into a room of like a water treatment plant or something. Where is this place that they go over and run into?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know what it is supposed to be.
It's some kind of abandoned factory, but the reason that they end up in the factory is because the demon knocks over an electrical pole, and so the car apparently can't go past the electrical pole. So they get out and start running.
Apparently, yeah.
And they end up in this factory.
Damn electrical poles.
Right. But after this whole fucking scene is over, they get back in the car and they drive over the electrical pole.
Because that can happen.
So it was pointless. All right, anyway.
So the demon attacks them, tossing stuff at them, flapping his wings. It looks terrible. The CG. Bad. Oh.
It's not CG.
Whatever it is, it's not good. What would you call it? Stop motion?
Yeah, I
think it looked better than the actual up close pictures of the demon. I really don't like the demon in the whole thing.
Okay.
I think I remember as a kid thinking it was cool looking, but
yeah, I think it was referred to as go motion, which I think Harryhausen created. I don't know.
I was gonna say, when you're a child, your taste doesn't count because I mean you like Velcro shoes when you're a child.
I love Velcro shoes.
You know, Gum by the Yard, shit like that. Children have no taste.
I love Gum by the Yard. No.
I'll stop listing off your childhood items.
Fruit by the foot.
So the building is now collapsing in on everybody. They climb out the top. The demon gets buried under the rubble. It's very uneventful, not very exciting. He races back with the golden child to Dr. Hong's. And here it is at an hour, 27 and 8 seconds. You can see Key breathing.
There you go.
Through the cloth. The demon bursts up through the floor. How? They're in a basement. Get out of my head, you fucker. Yeah. How? But he does. Right between the golden child and Key. He tries to stab Jarrell with the dagger, but he hits that big old fat round medallion necklace he's got around his neck.
Hell, the one he didn't even want.
Heck yeah.
The golden child.
I think is pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Totally. I like that came into play because I went, oh, there was a reason that old Goopa gave him that thing. So the golden child uses his mind, much like using the force, to get the dagger over to Gerald, and he plunges it into the demon, making him explode in glorious fashion.
Stabinated and explodinated. We love to see it, don't we, folks?
It's true. I was like, yay! Because I thought, how uneventful is him getting buried under the rubble? What a terrible death for the demon, right?
Yeah.
So the golden child kind of slaps 5 with Gerald, like a high five, and then touches Key, bringing her back to life.
He has to lift her foot up into the last ray of the sun too.
That's right.
Yes. I like that they did that because it's like a nod to the rule they laid out earlier. Like this is how it has to be.
And it looked really cool. Like the shot was done really
Yeah.
well. It looked, very ethereal, I guess would be how I would put it.
So Gerald and Key kiss. The golden child gives Gerald a thumbs up. Beyond cheesy. Didn't need it. Then we cut to Gerald, Key, and the golden child walking outside in regular street clothes. Key says she'll be gone about 2 weeks, taking the golden child back to Tibet. Gerald gives the golden child a ball cap. It's too comically big for his head.
Mhm.
And I thought that was cute. I like when little kids wear stuff that's too big for them.
Yeah.
It's one of my things, like in movies, I always go, oh.
Yeah.
Then they are now joined by
What-
color
Wait, you know why he gave him the hat?
to mask his bald head so he wouldn't be obvious.
So he wouldn't get made fun of. Yeah, because
Aw,
it's
yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
We were assholes.
Wild West, anything goes.
There's kids are still assholes, T-Bone.
I know.
That didn't change, yeah. So they get joined by the colorful bird as Jarrell makes jokes. They walk off into the sunset, and he's laughing at his own jokes.
that was laugh number 11.
All right. He
And
does it
we-
11 times.
We abruptly cut right to black, music, roll credits, the end. Like, very abrupt.
How long is this bird gonna live? I mean, what did it die of? Did it die of natural causes? Like,
Maybe.
now is it cursed to fucking exist for all eternity?
It's an undead bird. We'll never know.
Or maybe it's just an extra year. I don't know. Or however many times he wants to touch the damn thing.
Oh,
His own lifetime.
poor
Aw.
bird.
Well, it depends. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of birds live longer than humans. A lot of like parrot type birds do. Not
Ah.
like lovebirds and parakeets, but like a lot of like other parrots. I don't know what kind of parrot this is.
All right. So that is the Golden Child. Is there anything that we didn't cover going through the plot walkthrough? Any scene, character, something we might have missed that you want to bring up?
I do actually. I had it written down here, and I made the comment when we watched the movie. I still have to say that when you get to Tibet, you can truly find that this woman, what was her name again? Charlotte Lewis,
Mhm.
is the only woman I've ever known that you can stack more clothing on, and she's even more beautiful. Because in Tibet,
Oh.
she was completely wrapped up in all these different things, and she was somehow even hotter.
I liked her face. I thought she was so pretty.
She is just gorgeous. She's so pretty. It's painfully pretty.
Yep. Nix, did you have anything else?
There was something, and now I can't remember what it is. I'm scrolling back through my notes to see if I can figure out what the fuck it was.
You know, if you had it written on a notebook like I do, it would be right. You wouldn't have to scroll.
Old school notes. Yep. Me too.
I would have to. I'd have to flip the pages now, wouldn't I?
I only have one page of notes here.
All right. Well, while you
Everything-
look through, we will do what I
Yes.
always do on my show, which is jump to 3 questions. So I'll start
Uh-oh.
with Dave.
Okay.
Do you would have preferred a more serious take with somebody like Mel Gibson?
Like I said before, is I don't think that it would have made a better movie. No, but if it would have been John Carpenter and Mel Gibson, then yes. But if it would have just been Mel Gibson, I don't think it would have been any better. If with this script with this script the way it is with Mel Gibson and being serious instead of funny, I think that what good this movie does have, it has a lot to do with Eddie Murphy.
Okay, that's fair. Nix, I'll pose that question to you. Do you think this would have been different? Like, would you have preferred this if it had been serious with Mel Gibson?
Possibly. What I would really have liked was for it to be rewritten to be funny.
Okay.
If they were gonna go this way. It doesn't feel like they put any work into adapting the original script to give it the comedic elements. It doesn't have room to be funny. It just has room for Eddie Murphy to try to improvise every once in a while and make some shit up in between all of the serious shit. So it may have worked better, but I would have liked it better if they just made it funny.
So that's exactly my thoughts. And then also to expand on that, I think if they would have done a serious route with somebody like a Mel Gibson, they shouldn't have the horror aspect. No demon, no supernatural stuff. It should be more like a drama, like a missing child is in danger type of thing. And then I think, well, then you lose the whole concept of what the movie is supposed to be about. So I feel like, yes, they should have just maybe had comedy writers come in and punch up the script and really leaned into it heavy and not done the serious route at all.
Well, I mean, a serious and a mystical film can work together.
Big
But
Trouble has
yeah,
lots of funny in it.
Big Trouble is all funny. What are you talking
It's
about?
gorgeous. It's
yeah.
I am, like I said, I like to watch this with Big Trouble, but Big Trouble is the superior movie.
Yeah, so I mean, this would be the first one, and then you move to Big Trouble, but but it's all funny. I mean, if you were gonna do this serious, that can work. I think Chuck Norris did like
Firewalker.
No, not Firewalker.
Didn't that have a supernatural bad guy in it?
Firewalker was like an Indiana Jones ripoff.
What's the one that had the supernatural element?
I'm thinking Hero and the Terror. Wasn't that the one? I think it was a canon flick.
I don't think I've seen this.
Imagine that. Nick's brought up something that nobody knows about. I'm sorry. All right. We got another question. Let's go back to Dave.
Yeah, so question 2, Dave, could you remake this today? And if so, would you lean more into the drama, the horror, or the comedy? And who do you think would star in it?
Well, okay, first off, could you remake it today? Much to my my pain, I believe that if anyone tried to remake this movie or even Big Trouble in Little China today, that it would be attacked from all angles for being insensitive to different cultures. Which
so no,
I
the short
tried
answer is no.
It couldn't be done today. And what was the second part of this question?
If they did try, would you prefer like drama, horror, or comedy leaning, and who would you want to star in it?
If they did try, I would like it to be more of I would like it to still have comedy in it. I would like them to put it back to the film noir version and have the main character be more of an Indiana Jones detective type person, and I would have Chris Pratt be the person in it.
Oh, I like that. All right, Hollywood, are you listening? Because that's a great idea. Nick, same questions to you, sir.
I want no Chris Pratt in my movie, please.
I love Chris Pratt. Screw you.
I like the noir idea for it. That would be really cool. And if we wanted to avoid like, any controversy with
problematic material,
I would make it more of a Lovecraftian kind of film.
Oh, because there's no sorry.
No, but I like that.
I mean, well, we don't have to get into the way he wrote the other characters and what he named his cat and shit. But, there's one chosen child that can prevent the old ones from coming back. And there's a cult that is trying to facilitate that happening. Yeah, I think that would be fun.
That is a really good idea, dude. And do that and make it a little funny and put Chris Pratt in it.
Fucker.
For me, I actually like that idea. I like the more horror leaning, but it definitely needs some comedy. And I would be hard pressed to cast somebody in a film like that because I don't think a lot of the young people today have the chops for carrying a really dramatic role.
Yeah, I can't see the Spider-Man dude doing it.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people would say, "Oh, somebody like Timothy Chalamet or like all these young people," and I'm like, I don't know about these young kids, these whippersnappers now.
No, we'll have to give it to an older actor and give what older actor could really sink their teeth into this.
See, that's rough because the ones I could see doing a role like this, like Scott Bakula, who is too old now to do a role like this, but he pulled off a nice noir performance in Lord of Illusions. So
Liam Neeson could still do it. Liam Neeson, dude.
He's always so old, dude.
He's talking about doing a sequel to Darkman.
Oh my God. No. That is
Yes.
the bane of my podcasting existence.
What
No.
are you talking about?
Oh,
No.
you just caught yourself on fire with T-Bop there.
What
No.
are where did
I'm sure
you
he's listened to
deal?
my Darkman episode.
I
you
did not. I
Oh shit.
did not.
Okay, well you love me now, but maybe after you listen to that.
Holy fuck. I remember
Oh.
sending you the link of the Darkman talk that we did so you could give it to Driving Dave.
Yes, I did. I sent it along. All right. So this is not an episode about Darkman. Let's move on. Question 3.
Oh my god.
Question. Oh wait, did you find that thing you were looking
Oh
for?
yeah, so I wanted to point out when Eddie Murphy is like, hey, how do I get in this lady's pants, old man? The old dude is picking his nose and wipes it on his robe. And the joke is that Eddie Murphy sees that happen and like narrates it. Oh yeah, you're just gonna wipe it on there? Hey, be sure to get that booger off. I might freeze up and you cut yourself.
You scratch yourself.
Right?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I love so many of the deliveries that he gives in this, even if it's a bad joke. It's like I also forgot to say where the whole trip, once they leave Kathmandu and they're going to the temple, he still won't let it go. The guy stole his money. He's like, I'll paddle your ass. I'll paddle your ass. And I've always loved Eddie Murphy's deliveries in so many different things.
Okay, I get you, Dave. I get you.
I
now.
get it.
Because I am the same way with fucking Mike Epps. I don't know what it is about him, but every time that motherfucker opens his mouth, I am giggling like an idiot. So I get it.
And it may have a lot to do with like staying up late with my brother and watching Saturday Night Live when Eddie Murphy was on there. It's just like the man would open his mouth and I'd laugh. It's very hard for me to listen to him do anything and not think it's funny. And it may be just ingrained in me. I'm sorry, but I mean, I'll keep apologizing all I want, but I love this.
You don't
movie.
have to apologize. You freak.
What do you,
No.
Nix? Do you have somebody like that where you just find them hilarious no matter what they say?
Not that's popping up in my head.
Oh.
But I remember. I mean, I grew up listening to Eddie Murphy's Raw on cassette tape, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. And yeah, his delivery does make something seem funny.
Yeah.
So I can get that, but now I'm like, yeah, he said it in a funny way, but it wasn't really a joke. It wasn't.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's his delivery system that I just find myself laughing just because of how it came out of his mouth.
Yeah, well, yeah, when they were in the boat and they were paddling, and yeah, he's like, oh, make me paddle. I'm gonna paddle his ass. He stole my $100.
I'll catch up to you. I'll row your ass.
I wanted one last. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not done with the questions yet, are we?
No, but go ahead. What do you have?
Oh shit. All right, so the director Michael Ritchie and Eddie Murphy, they got back together years and years and years later. They did Bowfinger with Steve Martin,
which I find hilarious.
That movie's fun. Yes, that movie's fucking great. I don't have anything against Eddie Murphy as an actor. He just needs to make a good movie.
I think part of the problem with this movie is how close it was to Beverly Hills Cop, though. It couldn't stack up to the money made. I mean, it still made a decent amount of money. It just, they considered it a flop because it didn't make as much money as Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay, so that actually segues me perfectly into question 3. You've
way to go, Dave!
Albatross for the win. So question 3, out of Eddie's early movies, such as 48 Hours, Trading Places, Best Defense, Beverly Hills Cop, then we have this one, then we have Beverly Hills Cop 2, Coming to America, and Harlem Nights, all in the 80s. Out of all of his 80s movies, where does this one rank for you? Me, I'll answer first. Me, bottom of the list.
I can do that too. It's bottom of the list for me. It's definitely not my favorite.
Just flat out Eddie Murphy movies. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's probably
I mean, you enjoy it. You watch it once a year. It makes you laugh.
Enjoy it. I watch it more than any of the other ones. So I'd say somewhere in the middle though, because like Trading Places and Beverly Hills Cop and
Brewster's Millions. Wait, was that Eddie Murphy?
No, Richard Pryor.
Trading Places and Beverly Hills Cop are definitely above this one. Yeah, probably bottom. bottom to middle half.
Oh.
I think it has more to do with what it's about and it's Eddie Murphy than having to do with because of the type of movie it is. Because I'm not a really big cop show guy, but I really like mystical stuff and science fictiony stuff and some horror stuff. I love fantasy stuff. And you take something like that, and then the fact that with me and my like growing up and every once in a while being able to see a movie with my brother and stuff, seeing these Eddie Murphy movies and stuff like that. I love like Eddie Murphy and all those 80s comedians and stuff like that. So it's kind of the two things mashed together that makes it something that I watch more often than the others. But I do believe, I mean, I watch it more often than Beverly Hills Cop, but realistically, Beverly Hills Cop is a much better movie.
Fair. I was asking, where you rank it in the pack, and it's kind of middle to low. So that's fair.
It's always about, how much do you enjoy it?
Right.
Not whether it's like a quality film, but how much joy do you get from it?
Yeah, I enjoy it. As it goes for like the type of movies that I like it better than a lot of the other movies that he did. But as it goes for if you look at how funny it is, it isn't anywhere near as funny as those movies.
Miss, did you do yours?
Oh, bottom of the list for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. We both
said
did.
bottom.
Absolutely.
So you think it's his absolutely worst movie, both of you?
Well, like I said,
No,
I haven't seen Norbit.
No, I'm talking about of the 80s.
Of the 80s, it's my least favorite for sure.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Probably. No, David, you brought up like those 80s comedians and stuff. So can you explain to me the appeal of Sam Kinison?
Who?
Sam Kinison.
Oh.
I think it was realistically just the energy he threw into it.
Okay.
And the novelty of him being the first one to do that.
And he was very tiny.
Yeah, he looked like a little troll and he was screaming at you. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Carl's band would have loved him.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up our discussion, everyone, on The Golden Child from 1986. If anyone out there is interested in checking it out, at the time of this recording, it was available on Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, and MGM Plus. Thank you guys for joining me today to discuss this. Hopefully
I appreciate you having us.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for doing a movie with me just because I happened to post something.
I'm glad because I was due for a rewatch on this, honestly. It had been too long.
Yeah, I wish it would have held up a little better for you because whenever you first said something about it, you seemed to be somebody that liked it.
Yes, and I thought I was.
And it kind of hurts, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was. Next time we'll do one that we both like.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave, I've been the odd man out on my own show, so I mean,
I know. Hey, this is the first time though. Like the last time I pick a movie and you guys both ended up liking it, and I thought you were gonna hate it.
That was Hawk the Slayer.
On Hawk the Slayer, yeah. I thought you guys were both gonna hate that movie.
Was such a fun episode to listen to, especially after just watching the movie. So everyone, that's over on Cinema Shit Show. And that segues me into perfectly what I was going to say next. Dave, you don't have a podcast.
Absolutely not.
Nix, you do. Do you please want to tell everybody about your show and where to find you?
Well, hey, we have a show called Cinema Shit Show. Now, the shit show is not the movies, it's the host, myself and Obi Ben Shinobi. We're the clusterfucks. But we cover like mostly underground films, or like overlooked films, usually a lot of older ones, and we just kind of dissect it. Pretty much what we do here, except I'm the guide, so everybody's at my whim. And we just laugh and have a good time. Hey, if you've got something that you want to promote, you can email us at cinemashitshow@gmail.com. And it's a book or a short or a website or whatever you got. We'll talk about that and then we'll dissect the movie together. We just want to meet other people and laugh. And that's pretty much it. We're not edited. We pretty much leave everything alone, and it's very raw. But we have a lot of fun, and everybody's welcome to join.
Where can they find you?
Oh, we're at Cinema Shit Show on Twitter. We're Cinema Shit Show on Blue Sky. We have a Facebook account, which is Cinema Shit Show Pod. You might be able to find us there. We're really creative with the name. We're very consistent. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome to have you guys here. Really appreciate it. Sorry I didn't love the movie, Dave.
Nah,
but
it's okay. It's
like
okay.
I said, we'll have you back for something that we all enjoy, hopefully. And Nick's always a pleasure to have you.
Love being with you, Miss, and Dave, you as well, buddy. I'm so glad that you're jumping in with us here.
Getting his toe dipped into the water of podcasting.
Yeah, I somehow ended up on like I said, a few episodes of his movie podcast, and now I'm on another one, and I'm
making the rounds. All right. Well, thank you, listeners, for sticking with us. And until next time, goodbye.
That's the man, Chandler Yarrow. If he doesn't return my property, I want him arrested. Welcome home, Mr. Yarrow. You have something for me.
I'm sorry, Numsi. I should be punished. Everyone I have stolen from my brother, Numsi. Officer, it is your duty to take me in. Please, purge me. I'm ashamed of myself. I should be arrested. I should be flogged. I don't deserve to walk amongst good
Let me have a word with him
but
for a
I am a
moment.
swine. I am a wretch. I don't deserve to live like others.
How long do you think you can keep up this miserable masquerade?
Well, until I get arrested, or until you realize the rules of evidence in this country. See, if I get arrested, they take me and they put me in a jail cell. And then they take the knife because it's a stolen object, and they put that little room and they put Exhibit A, little sticker says Exhibit A on it. And that sits in the room, then I sit in my little room, and the knife sits in this little room until the trial comes up, which can be anywhere from a month to a year. So if you get me arrested, there's no telling when you're gonna get your knife.
You've no idea who I am, have you?
Yes, you're Sardo Noopsie. Look, I don't care who you are. I do care if you kidnap a little kid, though.
I could destroy you, just like that.
We wouldn't want that. Listen, bring me the boy, and I'll give you the knife. And then no one will have to be destroyed, just like that. Think it over. My brother's forgiven me. Ki, Dr. Hong, Brother Noomsi has forgiven me. Dear brother, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah!
Hey listeners, Movie Miss here, saying we know you have a lot of options when it comes to podcasts, so we want to thank you so much for listening to ours. Please make sure to find us on our socials and join us, be part of our bad movie conversations. We want to chat with you. We're on Facebook with an official page, as well as a Let's Talk Turkeys discussion group, where you can talk with other like-minded individuals who like bad movies. We're on Instagram at Let's Talk Turkeys. Our Twitter handle is at Gobble Podcast. That's GOBBLEPODCAST. And of course, you can always email us direct. We would love to get suggestions from you of movies you would like us to cover. If you want to be a guest on the show, we would love that. So directly, that's Let's Talk Turkeys, all one word, at yahoo.com.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.